So we have Sergeant Sprague here from the ROTC room, and we're going to ask him a few questions.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in two areas. I grew up in Miami, Florida, and outside of Buffalo, New York.
How was your family life growing up?
Family life, parents divorced at a young age, and I went with my mother to Florida, and my brother stayed with my father up in New York.
Would you say that you were pretty close to your mom whenever you were growing up?
Yes, since I was with her so long.
Is she still here with you?
No, she died.
Right. I was going to ask, how did you get into the military?
I always wanted to join the military. It was just one of the goals I had in life. And, all right.
Would you like to share any of the stories that you had maybe in the military or experiences? You have any?
Well, I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps. When I was in high school, I knew I was going to get drafted, so I wanted to go with the best training I could get. And, I had good and bad experiences. And I got out, and I'll explain why in one of your other questions.
So why did you switch to the Army?
Well, the Marine Corps was changing, and they didn't. When I grew up, NCOs took care of officers and so on, and it got to the point where the officers didn't take care of the NCOs, and I didn't like the way it was going, so I got out.
Do you like teaching JROTC?
I love teaching junior ROTC. There were two things in my life I never wanted to do, and that was teach and get a college degree. I felt that I wanted to, if I had to die, I was going to die for my country and my God, and that was my goals in life. But the moral of the story is that never say never, because there's a higher power out there, and he's going to direct you where you want to go.
How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for about 16 years now.
And can you name some of the places you've been?
I taught, first of all, in Anderson, Missouri for 12 years. And then I spent 3 years in Truman. And this is my 4th year here.
Any regrets over anything you've done?
No, I don't have any regrets. I'd do it all again.
Alright, well, thank you for your time. I guess that's all the questions we have for now, so thank you for letting us interview you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have Mike.
You got Mike Shinaki.
Alright, here we go. Alright, so I was going to ask where you grew up here.
Alright, where I grew up as a child I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. And from there, I was raised by what you could call a single parent. My mother raised me. My mother and father divorced when I was 2 years old. He was in the service, and when he came back, it just didn't work out all that well. And I didn't match up with him until way later in life, but then he became a best pal after that. But anyway, my mother, I had explained to somebody earlier that if she was still here, she'd be like my third arm. That's how close we were.
I was going to say, you said you grew up with just your mother. I was going to say, if you were really close to her, you said she was like your third arm. If you guys had a good family life?
Terrific family life. The best part about it is the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and being able to have that relationship. And we were family then. And I consider we're family now with the size family we have here at Christmas time, 41 people. So family, yeah. That taught me a lot as being a single, only child at that time. That I wound up with 6 of my own children and never divorced.
How did you and Grandma Shirley meet?
All right, Grandma Shirley and I met because of a girlfriend of hers that actually lived upstairs from me that I kind of liked her because she was a very good accordion player, teenage accordion player back then. And she had invited Shirley over for a swim party in the backyard. We lived in a four-family flat. And she had invited Shirley over, and I peeked out the window and watching them swim, you know, as anybody might do to look at pretty girls. And I got to liking Shirley, and after a couple of weeks after that, we started dating. And Bonnie could keep her accordion.
What was it like working at the auto part distribution plant?
The auto parts distribution plant was very good. I started with them in 1977 and went all the way to the year 2000. So I had quite a few years with them. The company sold out to different corporations within the structure of the automotive business 7 different times, I believe. And each time they did, I was one of the lucky employees that did stay, until at the point I wound up being the very last one of the original company, EIS Brake Parts. Now, I ran distribution in Manila, Arkansas, where we did $12 million a month worth of retail goods. So as a distribution point, I was very happy with that. But then they decided to go ahead and move to one of these other corporations I mentioned earlier, and I was already 60 years old and decided not to. I took early retirement.
And the reason you moved from St. Louis to Jonesboro, or to Manila,
The reason I moved from St. Louis to Jonesboro, truthfully, I couldn't handle Manila with 4 of my 6 kids still with me because there was no McDonald's. Okay? But we came here, we really liked it here, and this was going to be our last stop.
and I was going to ask if you had any regrets during your life.
No, as a child, it was much more simpler than what you people have now. We could go out and play in sand lots. We could go around the neighborhood. Everybody knew everybody. Not complete strangers. We didn't have to worry about this or worry about that. We always knew the child was going to be safe. No regrets. Yes, to say that you could have done things a little bit better here and there, I think even you will say that one of these days.
I think we all can.
Yes. Well, that's all the questions we have, so thank you for letting us interview you.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you.